Welcome to Fortune Cookies Tarot, your ultimate destination for pop culture and celebrity tarot readings. I'm Annabelle, tarot practitioner for over 35 years, super long time. And in this video, we're going to take a mystical journey into the lives of one of your favorite or not so favorite royals. We're going to be talking about Harry. But please remember that all of my readings are for entertainment purposes only, and they reflect my own personal opinion and psychic downloads. Please do your own research before making decisions. Also, remember, you can book your own personal 12-month look ahead at the link in the description down below. First weekend of the month, I am recovering from the flu. I'm back in action, but my weekend right now, I think, is fairly open, which is great news. I can catch up on Why Women Kill series that my buddy just put on his Plex server, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Started last night. But if you would like to get a reading, jump on in there. I'm going to try and do a live later on Friday night. I think this video is going to pop up on Saturday. So let me know if you want to get a reading. So cool stuff that's coming up for 2024. I'm going to be doing some new collabs with some other content creators. We have a session of my Tarot 101 class going on right now. I do teach that on a live video platform. I keep the classes really small. I want to train you guys just like me. You get to see all the goodies. I kind of clear out all the cobwebs. I give you a lot of good resources. By the end of the 12-week course, you will be able to do readings for yourself, for your friends, and you can even start your own practice like this. But Fortune Cookies is looking for a few new cookies to come on board and work with us. Having a spiritual business sometimes can be a little bit lonely if you're a solo practitioner. So I do want to bring some lovely guys and gals on so that we can all work together and bounce off the same platform. So we've got collabs, we've got class coming up. New session is starting in February. So if you have any questions about that, you can email me at FortuneCookiesTarot@gmail.com. If you'd like to book a reading with me, link below, or go to my website, FortuneCookiesTarot.com. So with that being said, let's take a look at what's going on with Harry. I know it is a favorite topic of everyone. We're going to do his 12-year ahead. Hopefully, he'll have some good stuff going on. So I'm not going to be using the deck of the month. I'm going to do a deck of the month once a month for everybody. And it is in my newsletter. So if you haven't subscribed to that yet, you can find my newsletter subscription on my website. Just click on the link and put your email in and you can get my newsletter. There's cool stuff in there, like happenings that are happening with Fortune Cookies, also classes. What else do we have in there? We have the moon magic of the month that you can follow. There's a charming homes feature in there so that you can live a little bit more of a magical life with your magical housekeeping. But let's see what is, and we'll be expanding that newsletter as well. We'll have some cool stuff in there, but let's see what's going on with Harry. So this is going to be a 12-month reading, and I think it's going to be pretty involved. So we'll do his personal and professional life. So let's do it this way. This will be his romantic life. That'll be his professional life. This will be his romantic life, and this will be his family life. And of course, I dropped my cards for the first sloppy shuffle of the day. I'm going to change this. This is family, romance, and we'll do professional over here. That's just helping me keep track. So let's see how our January is looking for Wayward Prince. Professional, how is he looking? Oh, romantic. Oh. And family. Ooh, okay. So professionally, it looks like he is going to be pushed to the front of the stage, front of the room for January. It looks like we'll be seeing him doing a lot more out front. So I can't imagine what that could be, but it looks like he is taking charge. His romantic life maintains being directed by the Queen of Wands, but it also does say that he is pushing forward to doing a bit more, having a bit more agency over some of the things in that romantic relationship. So we're going to take a look before we go any further. I want to clarify this with a few cards. So that professional relationship or professional emperor, he's going to be out front. He is going to be defending things about his union. He is going to be defending rumors of a breakup. We're going to see that. So that's something that he's going to have a lot to say about that. Now, within the relationship, he is going to be staunchly saying that people should not be judging their relationship and saying what's going on. If you don't know, you don't know. That's really going to be his take on this. Within the family, we have the Hangman in reverse. He is not backing down. He's still going to maintain that spirit of, I'm not wrong. I deserve an apology. I didn't do anything to ruin my family. He's looking back with a jaded eye, though. He is looking back with a lens. He has a lens that is colored by someone who is telling him, I'm the one that loves you. I'm the one that cares. So he, there's comparing apples and apples. So someone is telling him they never cared about you. They never cared about you. You did the right thing. You're being your own man. You're living your own truth. So we've got that going on. So we can all guess who someone is. Let's go back. Let's go way back into February. What is happening in February? In February, we are going to see him taking more control. And really, this is, again, being more present, having some power put into his hands, how he is going to be perceived as a professional. So I think they're trying to I think whatever support he has in place is trying to separate him from the relationship and make him stand up as his own person and as someone who has thoughts and ideas that are independent of his wife. So I think we'll see much less of a married couple kind of relationship here. I think that's just not a breakup. I don't think we're going to see a breakup, but I think they're going to present him more as an autonomous, independent voice and person. So I think that's going to be very interesting. Moon card in reverse for romantic stuff. Not looking back, not seeing any of the bad things, just kind of dealing with the situation as it is. I think that there is going to be a lot of busyness. Now, this is our Valentine month, but I think it's almost going to be like, I'm too busy to really work on the relationship. You do your part, I'll do mine. And I think that's just basically what it's going to be. And I think the comfortable excuse for both of them is we're really, really busy. As Megan's already said, they have a lot of things on the slate in the future that they're really, really excited about. So I think we've got that situation going on. I think the busyness of work is going to mask any issues or any neglect of the marriage that we see coming up. The family, we've got that 9 of Swords in reverse. William is furious. They are asking for money. I think they are going to mete out some, there's a reluctant generosity here. This is, it's almost like we're going to give you something to just knock it off and not be our issue anymore. So that I think is going to be very interesting, but it does look like there's some kind of monies going here. So perhaps the efforts that Harry will make professionally are going to yield something from the royal family. So if this is something maybe he needs funding for one of the charities that he's doing that were originally part of the royal family, that will be interesting. And my wonderful husband is walking in the room. Can you say hi, Gregopedia?
Hi, Gregopedia.
Gregopedia, we just had a weird discussion about eggs. Gregopedia can eat 6 hard-boiled eggs with no problem and be hungry a little while later, but he can't have a 3-egg omelet because he can't finish it. So figure that out. I don't know what that's about.
All orally.
How else would you take them?
Well, they're egg-shaped.
Oh my God. Let's look at March for Harry. March, we've got some new projects coming up and some interesting stuff here on the love relationship. There's some conflict and craziness going on there. March. Again, talking about March 12-month reading for Harry, Prince of whatever.
Don't be surprised about the egg thing. You've seen the alien ovipositor.
Yes, I did. I did see the alien ovipositor. That's gross. Don't look that up. Anyone, do not look that up. So it looks like the work that he's going to be doing, it's almost, I know I say this all the time, aim small, miss small. I think they're really going to try and promote him as a thought leader with that Page of Wands. It's a very ace kind of vibe, difference between the pages and the aces. Aces are opportunities that present themselves. The pages are already there. They're on the field, ready to go, ready to learn new tricks, ready to do things. So I think we get the opportunity with the ace here has presented for him to do speaking engagements. Now I know there's all this brouhaha about WME. I'm not looking into that just yet. But there's also the what is it, William Walker agency? I can't remember what it says, something Walker, but that's the speaking the website you can go to hire them for speaking engagements. And I think he's going to be promoted as a speaker a little bit more. I think they know the powers that be, the management that be, I think they know that he is much more of a draw for speaking engagements. I mean, it's not saying a lot, but oh, love that Yorkshire Red. Hashtag Yorkshire Red. So I think they're going to try and do that, but it's a tempered approach with that temperance card. They're not going to dial it up. Main concern there is that he is going to continue to whinge, continue to whine, continue to complain about the maltreatment that he's experienced through his whole lifetime instead of coming up with something new moving forward. So within the relationship, this is, the fives are usually conflict adjusting. We're getting into some different things. So let's see what's going on with that. And I have the Page of Cups jumped out. I am going to take that. Sometimes I don't take the jump out cards. Sometimes I do. This is an occasion where I will. So this looks very much like he wants to redefine the power dynamic in the relationship. I think the power dynamic from my other readings that I've had does vary with them. So, one part of the relationship is very ambitious, Meghan, obviously, and Harry has always been but I hate to say performer, but performer. So, that has been very easy for him to have someone tell him what to do. The problem is that what he has been told to do at this point hasn't really worked. So hence we get this 7 of Cups in reverse. I think we're going to try and turn this upside down. He is going to try and head up more of the relationship. He's going to try and seize those reins of power in a gentle and kind way, but I don't know if it's going to work. The family thing, the walking away, we have the Eight of Cups in reverse. Some consideration of whether this was a good idea. Is this him or is it them being the royal family? Is he reconsidering that walking away? I think he really knows that the door is closed and that he has done that to himself. And he does blame the person who had the most to say. So, what is the result of this? The dream is dead. Unfortunately, the dream is dead, and I don't think that he can return. I think the any suggestion that, I know 2023 was supposed to be the reconciliation year, 2024 being the redemption year. I don't think that that's an option. I don't think that that's available to them. If you did not see my reading on Queen Margrethe of Denmark abdicating from her position as the Queen of Denmark, I did talk about the end of it, and I looked at King Charles and Queen Camilla, and both of them are very intrigued by the actions of Queen Margrethe. So River had some interesting things to say about her abdication, even though it was allegedly due to health reasons. He did think that it was, I can't remember the word that he used, but it takes kind of the guilt off the royal family, the gold guilt, if you will. It does kind of take something away from it and leaves one with not a great and nostalgic reverence for those royal families. I do love royal families. I'm not a monarchist, but I do love royal families. I find that they are intriguing and wonderful and delightful and charming. At this point, how much power do they wield? We don't know. But reality is, it does look like the monarchies are going the way of the dodo. Is the dodo dead, Greg? The dodo is dead. So I do think that King Charles and Queen Camilla are very intrigued by the idea of retirement via abdication. So we will see. That will be very, very curious if they do. I do think it will weaken the British royal family on the world stage. I don't think he should do it. I think it's don't be the weak gazelle. So let's look at April for Henri. Oh my, April looks like career-wise, we're not doing so well. Looks like the efforts are failing. That I think they're finding out that there's very little substance there, a lot of sizzle, not a lot of steak as far as him being a thought leader or speaker.
You need to be able to think first.
We got to mic you, honey. Gregopedia said, shouldn't he be able to think first? And there we've got that Eight of Swords. He is a one-trick pony, unfortunately. Oh, gosh, the career really is bang zoom. They're still going to be throwing out ideas like, why don't I interview that leader of Russia or the former leader of the United States? Those grand ideas that he had. They are going to try and pitch some of those, but they're going to fall like lead balloons. It does look like he is a one-trick pony and he's really stuck on the idea of complain. So that is unfortunate. It looks like the rebranding, the remarketing of his career as a speaker is dying very quickly in the new year. The Fool in reverse, rash, irrational. Oh my goodness. I think we're going to try and get another baby here, but I think it's going to be something a little bit different. I don't think we're going to have a natural baby. I think this is going to be possibly an adoption. I think this is talk about doing this. There's a need. We should do this. But unfortunately, if they do float this idea of adopting, not to quote Aldous Snow, aka Russell Brand, African Child, his song African Child, I think they are going to explore this option just to have a rebirth, have a a renewal. You know, we've had these children, but our children are so privileged, and we really need to do it. The Madonna model, I think, is going to be floated. Now, are we going to hear about that? I think whatever management they have, whatever people are advising them, I think they're advising them dead set against this. This is a bad idea. It's going to be a bad look. People don't even see your kids now. I think it's going to be criticized before it even gets off the ground. But I think, again, April, I think they're going to be talking about possibly adding to their brood via adoption for like a very needy child. And it'll probably be an African child like Charlize Theron, Angelina Jolie. The reality is Megan did want to be Angelina Jolie. That was, I think someone told her at some point that she looked like Julia Roberts, or she had a smile like Julia Roberts, so she grabbed onto that. But ideally, like, who doesn't want to be Angelina Jolie? Well, Jennifer Aniston. But I think that was, you know, that was a template, an archetype that she wanted to go for. So with the family, with his family, we have that Two of Swords in reverse, which was making rash decisions, one-way streets here, not being able to drive around those corners. Yep. No new beginning. You got what you wanted. You asked for this. You asked for it. I think there will be an underscored discussion, or it feels very much like a notice by mail, like final notice, that, you know, these are the things that you've done. These are the things that you have foregone in your blood family, and this is what you had asked for. The wishes have been fulfilled. We you know, bid you the best of luck. We're sorry that you're broke, but you know, there's not much that we're going to do for you moving forward. I think maybe that's why we see that little bit of payout earlier in the year, is that this is the big blow where we're going to absolutely sever and cut everything off. We are done. So I think the conversations are going to get much more terse and much more definitive. The flowery, fun conversations that we've seen from royal family and royal decrees, I think, are going to slow down. And I think they're going to become much more professional with them. And I really don't think that they have any kind of direct contact with anybody in the royal family at this point. Maybe Anne, because Anne is just awesome. But let's see what may come. And I know I'm talking about her a great deal, but the issue is that the relationship is so intertwined, that it's very hard to extricate one from the other. So I'm confident when we get to hers, we'll be talking about him as well, and hers will come. I think we've got plans here for two things. Now, my students, I always tell them when we talk about the suits in the minor arcana, is that there are certain things that we do in our life that can extend to all of the suits. So an example of this is if you wanted to write a novel, that novel may come up first as a wand. It may turn into a sword energy. Wands are ideas, excitement, inspiration. The swords are actually the writing process of it. The cups would be nurturing it and turning it into something that is really delightful. And then it could become a pentacle as it goes to publication and it becomes an asset for you. So that kind of business, I think we're seeing here. I think these are publications. I think we're going in two separate directions, two separate narratives with the divergence from the marriage. I think we're going to see more of his story, her story moving forward. So maybe we'll get like an African adventure with Harry, and maybe Meghan will write a cookbook again or something like that. So the relationship is successful in May, presenting a good front, presenting people together. This is, May, it's their anniversary, so I guess that's good. This is going to be presented as a very, very successful couple. I think the more they work and the less they are idle and in the house, the better the relationship becomes. With the family, we have cruising toward the finish line as a hermit on your own, Page of Pentacles in reverse, not being given the funds. I'm wondering if this is because he is turning 40 soon, isn't he? And that's when he gets the rest of his trust fund from his mom. I don't know if it's a trust or what it is, but he'll be getting that money. It looks like he's not going to be getting that money. It looks like they're going to be changing some of that. Something is going to change there, and it's something he's expecting. So he's just going to say, whatever, I don't care. Keep it. I can make my own money. But that is going to happen very quickly. He's going to be very isolated from the family come May. The communications are going to become very professional, very terse. There's not going to be, hope you and the kids are well at the end of it. As ever, Meghan, or Neil Sean, as ever, Neil Sean. So June, let's see what June brings. So with June, professionally, we get that world. World is endings or transformations. So let's clarify it and see if we have transformations. So this is going in a different direction. I think he is going to try and write the story of his life with his mother. I think that is like the insider view of life with mom. Now, he's already said in interviews, and I believe he said in his book, that he doesn't have that many memories of his mom, but I think he's going to try and put together a collection of stories. They need to work her into the equation somehow. So, it's a shame Diana, Princess of Wales, being once again capitalized on, even though Harry doesn't think that he's doing it. I think they are going to head in that direction. So that may be the pitch. That would have to be done in collaboration with other people. So it may be Harry interviewing other people and discussing the particulars of her life and what they remember of him, what they remember of her as a mother. I think it's going to be like a collective like that. Now the relationship turns into a little bit of a negative feeling here. What did I say? This is June. And it looks like we have some other elements that are coming into play. So I think we're going to have perhaps some jealousy. This is, declarations of, you need to do a little bit better, standing up. The power dynamic starts to lean into Meghan in June. So this, I think, is interesting. And it's also going to be not the highest minded kind of thinking for the relationship. I think he is going to lose track of the control over his emotions. He's going to be a little bit upset about a few things. Again, this is for entertainment purposes only. Something will come up. Sometimes when we see that Five of Wands, we have other elements that are in the relationship, passionate elements, things that are affecting the relationship from the outside. And there may be someone that is coming to the table with a little bit more substance and aggressiveness. So with the family, he is not successful. He is temperance in reverse. This is going to cause some problems for him professionally. We're definitely going to see the emotions and the volume of his voice in the wake of this lack of success. We're going to see his volume turn up. So this, I think, the destabilization of his emotional regulation is going to be in response to the way the family's responding to him, and also the way his career is starting to go. They're going to be trying, his management's going to be trying some new things to see if they can make him successful, but it's not going to be working. This idea may work with the recollections of my mother kind of, it's a great title, Recollections of My Mother. That may work. We'll see as we go further on. But I think the lack of success prior to this, plus the family responding in a very different fashion, plus him not getting access to all of the monies that he feels is due to him. He feels like he should have all that money and it should be under his and Megan's control. I think he is going to be dysregulated emotionally. And so we'll get some crazy responses from him, not publicly, but personally. It's going to be firing off text messages and emails and, writing things and not sleeping on it. So I think we're going to see him dysregulate a little bit in June, just in time for summer. Let's see what July holds. We're halfway through the year. Not seeing a lot of great stuff here. Seeing lack of funds, lack of fun, lack of stable power dynamic in the relationship. They're really not functioning as a team. They're kind of taking turns being the loudest voice in the room. So July, we have professionally, we hit rock bottom. And again, we've got, this is just what we had in June too. Dysregulation of emotions and also the lack of success there. So what happens professionally that we get this rock bottom severing? Is this when we lose our relationship with our professional leadership? What's going on there? Oh boy. So this is where we start to lose some money. So if there were monies that were due back to either Spotify, Netflix, any of the entities that had forwarded them money or cut deals with them for the tens of millions of dollars, I think that money is either evaporating officially or it needs to be paid back. This is complaining, well, you did not give us a chance to do what we needed to do. We weren't given enough resources, whatever. They had a studio built in their house. Come on, give me a break. But this is going to be complaining. This is a hard no. We're not doing anything else. The fairness is on the part of the entities that did try and engage them for work. And there's a lot that's turning their back on them. Hollywood, the circuit of altruism that comes out of Hollywood also has turned their back on them. They're just non-producers. They just don't want them involved. I think the Kevin Costner thing was a huge, huge moment for them to no longer be welcome into altruistic endeavors. I think they didn't follow the rules. I think Kevin Costner was like, yeah, Harry can hand me the award, or, maybe say congratulations. I think they really wanted him quiet. And when they got on stage, he tried to push Megan to the front and she tried to grab the mic. We all remember that. So I think that really put them in a weird spot, and that's their neighborhood, that whole Montecito place. Oh boy, this relationship thing is really over, but they can't get out of it. I think with the loss of this, the relationship starts to become much clearer that this has not been beneficial to him. They are not a power couple. They are a powerless couple. And I think that now he really starts to look at the reality of how damaging they are together and how not good they are together. But there is an inability to leave. He does feel stupid and unsuccessful, like he failed at this, which is unfortunate. But I don't think that there's an opportunity to leave. Within the family, we have, again, discussions about money. And he is looking from the outside with this pittance of money that he has. And he's looking from the outside to his father, really asking for more money. And his father is telling him, go, you have to move on. You have to move on. Now, this King of Pentacles can also be the Princess Royal, Anne Princess Royal. I'm not sure how I say her title, so I need to look at HG Tutor to see how I'm supposed to properly say that, because I do say Catherine, Princess of Wales, correctly now because of him. But this, I think, is definitely discussion. Still, we're talking about money. Still, we're talking about no return. Move on. Do not come back. He is not welcome back. So that was July. July is not looking good. July is not looking fun. I think there's going to be some revelations there for him emotionally. I think he's going to realize that emotional deregulation is not going to have him thinking very clearly, but I think these are very clear thoughts. Let's see if he can execute on them. August, we're getting into the dog days of summer. So we have, for enterprise and business, we have some coming together. Someone is putting together a deal for him that he can perhaps make some money at, but it's not going to fly. It's not going to happen. I feel like they're going to be floated by either legal counsel or management. Someone is going to give them some kind of a loan, but they realize that it's not going to be a loan. It's not going to be paid back. There's no opportunity to get those monies back at any given time. So I think they're going to hand off some money and just say, here, this we'll give you a bridge loan, but we know it's not really a loan. And that Seven of Cups is in reverse and not very good. We've got now he's starting to feel like a failure financially because we're now borrowing money from, borrowing money from someone. We're getting charity. This feels very much like the lost princes and princesses and duchesses and from exiled countries that their country has been torn asunder and they're thrown to the wolves. So it's like, I have a title, but I have no money. I have no ways to live. Is there anyone that will put us up and give us sanctuary, because we had to leave our country. We were forced to leave, forced our hand. So
this email find you well.
I'm
a deposed prince from another country. If you could just deposit $1 million into my account, I'll make sure you get $4 million back.
Oh my God. Wouldn't that be something if he became like the email prince?
He became the Nigerian prince.
Yeah, he does like Africa, so he could become, and his wife is 43% Nigerian, isn't she? So there's an idea. So he becomes kind of floating around and trying to bargain on that I'm a prince done wrong. Like, it's almost like he wants to be like, oh, there was a revolution and I wasn't part of it. I was thrown out of the country. Revolution of family. So, and I think we're going to see more of that here. It's so odd that wish card keeps coming up. Don't forget what you wished for. And under the surface, this celebration, I think they're happy that they're rid of him. But, it's the relationship is taking its toll. He is trying to figure out where they're going to land. The relationship with the family is done. He has never looked at the good things that he had. And I think they're what is it? Sawed on? Is that what we say? Sawed on? Or is it sod? Is it sod or sod?
Kneel before Zod.
No, it's not Zod. Zod. Kneel before Zod. Superman. It just is not looking good. August, like I think the family is just jubilant that he's not there anymore, that the door is going to be closed. And I think the family is going to be jubilant about that. There's going to be some people. I think Beatrice feels very badly about how this went. I don't know if that's like a ginger thing. Like, she's like, oh, we're both gingers. But they definitely, the door is closed. There is no way back. So all of this rumbling about, oh, there's maybe going to be reconciliation, it's not going to happen. So I have 7 minutes to finish this because Foxy and Trevor are doing their live together and I want to say it. So what did I say that was? August. Let's look at September. If they still have that house in September, they're out of the house. They're not in the house anymore. They're splitting things up. Just saying. Just saying. So work-wise, the Fool, he's got no money. She has squirreled away money. She has squirreled away some of the money from the professional things. I don't know how she did that, but she has. She's got a nest egg someplace. So for him professionally, he's got nothing. He's borrowing money or he's being given money to sustain their life, but she's got things that are okay. I think this is where we start to see the breakup, guys, in the relationship. I think in September, that is where we're going to see declarations of, we can't sustain this relationship. We're going to consciously uncouple. I think we're going to see that in September. At least that's the path we're on right now with them. Market with a T, I think that is when we're going to see it happen. September-ish, back to school. So with the family, we have the Star in reverse. And they don't want him back. He is going to present them with an idea of, if there is a breakup, if there's no money, if there's a breakup, he's going to say, well, can I come home? And they're going to say, no. How do we say it? Diet Coke, no. So I think they're going to say,
funny.
Not funny. That's John Mulaney, guys. So Greg and I just speak in movies and other people's clips. We're still very creative. We're funny people, but we do like to communicate in movies. So that's unfortunate. That's September. Wake me up when September comes. Huh?
Before you go.
That feels like a spring, late winter spring song. Wake me up before you go. October for Henri. It looks like he's going to try and partner with some more people. Oh, I got 2 cards there. The Fool, again, we're getting these silly ideas, these silly concepts that he's throwing out there, trying to get anyone to bite at the idea of working with him. The relationship, oh, he is cutting it off. Go ahead, say it, Greg. You filthy little beast.
Filthy little beast.
He is definitely voicing how he does not want to be a part of this union anymore. He wants a fresh start. There are going to be issues with getting that fresh start, though. So this perhaps is going to be War of the Roses with them still in the house together, because there are limited funds there, limited access. The family's not offering him any option to go back. And I am getting the sense that this is going to happen in the United States. So that divorce will be very interesting. because the United States has some very different rules. And here, no one has any kind thoughts or nostalgic thoughts about him. The loss of him is no big deal. Everything they're remembering, it's almost like the longer he's gone, the more they're like, yeah, and remember when he did that? And he was a jerk. And remember when he said this? And remember when he pushed me in the pool? Remember when my heel broke and he just made fun of me for the rest of the day, even though I hurt my knee? Like, he's just not a likable person anymore. They tolerated his cheekiness, his funness, his goofiness. He was the funniest guy in a not super funny family. Like that, I mean, they were. It's not to say like they didn't have a good sense of humor, but he was a funny guy in a not really robustly funny family. So, oh boy, that was October. Let's see, November. He's here in the United States. Oh, what did I do? I turned my cards the wrong way. Look at that craziness. November. Justice card. Again, this is here again. Turned out no one is there to support them. There's no one that will work with them. Justice card. A lot of people are saying, you know, you really had, they're going to get a talking to from some professionals in the industry that are going to say, you really didn't give us much to work with. And if the rumors that WME, Megan, kept doing her own thing, even though they were supposed to be managing and curating her public appearance, they're just, no one's wanting to work with them at all. They've really kind of blown it. So the relationship, they are going to have to deal with each other for now. I don't know if that's going to work. This is very business-like here. It's we can't move on. We can't heal. We can't even imagine moving into a new situation. The negotiations, the mediation of the end of the marriage are going to be taking place. So they're going to be going back and forth, but it's very unbalanced and very unrealistic. There's one of the party who's like, well, you can't leave me out here. You ruined my life. And that's, you know, the focus is going to be on how her life was ruined by the exposure from him. I think she's going to go back eventually and say, well, I wasn't that famous after all. The press said that I was famous. I wasn't famous. I wasn't ready for this. But we have the receipts, the interview. She was like, oh, you know, with the success of my show, we were on for 10 years. I ticked that box. So the family, we've got fat and happy there. If the relationship is breaking up, I do think that we're going to have someone who steps in and says, well, maybe we'll be able to do something for you. There may be some generosity there. So, you know, there may be assistance that is offered for this divorce to preserve the family. It's not really to preserve Harry, but to preserve the image of the family. They really don't want to have to deal with him quite as much. I think the restoration of him is very difficult. The emotions are very unregulated. He really is not looking back on his life, but the PR is going to be on the part of William. They are going to push forward with his positive press, so rather than Harry. So I think we'll see some interesting articles and interesting blind items come out about how William is trying to help Harry behind the scenes during the course of his divorce. It's like Dr. Seuss, right, Greg? No, not horse.
Horse?
Horse divorce?
Horse divorce.
Horse divorce. Isn't that what you serve at parties? Aren't they horse divorce? So December, how do we wrap up the year? I'm getting Sandringham in my head. I'm wondering if he's going to be at Sandringham. Boom, shakalaka. You are welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Transforming, Queen of Wands.
Changing. Do you see?
Always changing. Do you see? So I do think that there's going to be some discussions behind closed doors. I don't think we're going to hear about it in December. I think we'll hear about it in 2025. I think the restoration of him as a player in the royal family, as someone who has patronages, I think that is going to be in the works, not visible in December, possibly into 2025. We'll see some visibility on that. The relationship, absolutely, we're breaking away. We're getting out of there. He's going to be broke. This is the point. December, I think he's going to be stepping out and going out on his own, even though he is destitute. He has holes in his shoes, holes in his pants. He's not looking so good. He really is damaged goods. But the family has this big fat King of Cups. Big fat King of Cups.
I got a great idea.
What's up?
Sperm bank.
Sperm bank?
You can actually have royal blood.
Wow.
Your child.
Greg, I'm a little proud of you. You just became a mercenary. Like rubbing off on you.
Rubbing?
Ew. So I do think that we're going to see a return to Sandringham. I think they're going to bring him back, but the deal is going to be only if he brings the kids, only if they can get a view of all of this. I think the rescue of him will be specifically him and his children. They want the matched set. They don't just want him. They don't want the children to be estranged. And that's going to be the focus. I think William is going to focus on, we need to restore our family. And they may bait the hook with, there's always a chance for Meghan to come back. Like, it only took Fergie 30 years. So I think this is what we're looking at. So all in all, not a fantastic year for him. Not great. But this has been a long time coming. We all know that. And you can only fail so many times before your relationship gets really annoying. So with that, if you would like your own magical 12-month reading, you can book one with me at the link in the description. I do these for about an hour and a half. So this was a quick snapshot. When I do them privately, it does take a little bit longer. You can ask any questions. I do it live, so we can go back and forth. If you want to focus on a different part of your life than we're focusing on, you can absolutely do that. So I hope you all have a great day. I hope you enjoy this video. I'm going to probably put it up tomorrow, but I'm going to go over and I'm going to go watch Trevor Colt right now. So you guys have